this week on Cruisin' New England. GTOs and Y-Tracks, Bonnevilles and Trans Ams, Pontiacs, remember them? I'm Paul Manette, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Cruisin' New England and sometimes beyond. Today we're in Ocala, Florida to visit Rick Schmidt, Vice President of National Parts Depot. He has one of the nicest collections of automobiles anywhere in the United States. Today we're going to have a look at some of his Pontiacs and a whole lot of memorabilia. All this and more on Cruisin' New England. All my life, I've been cruising New England, meeting great people, visiting amazing places, and discovering wonderful classic and custom car collections, nostalgic automobilia, and so much more. Come on and join our adventure. I'm Paul Manette. Let's go cruising. Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web.
Experience McMulkin Chevrolet, one of the largest volume new and pre-owned Corvette dealers in the country.
I came here because I heard McMulkin has the largest selection of Corvettes in the Northeast.
I bought a GR1 because I wanted the fastest production car out there.
McMulkin has one of the most extensive inventories of coupes and convertibles, available and ready for delivery.
The Taj Mahal of Chevy dealerships. If you haven't been around, you got to come and check this place out.
Make it the true American sports car, Corvette. McMulkin Chevrolet is your Corvette dealer.
Imperial Worldwide insulation vinyl siding, copper and seamless aluminum gutters, closet-made shelving systems, and zero clearance fireplaces. We strive to make the building process easy and fun.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy. Many of you know me as the old original of Collector Car Insurance at Grundy. Well, today I'm here to introduce something new. We call it the Motor Vehicle Programmer MVP. MVP is designed to offer you the same great coverage with agreed value and incredible rates, not just on your collector cars, but on your daily drivers, your motorcycles, your motorhomes, your pickup trucks. If it goes over the road, we can insure it on MVP. If you got a quote, call our 800 number or visit us online.
Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook. Now you can watch Cruisin' New England television every day on our website television show. You'll see past episodes featuring automobile collections, memorabilia, automobilia, car show, and cruise night segments. Don't miss our visit with Hall of Fame drag racer Don Garlitz, a private showing of Bob Baer's world-class automobile collection, and watch for special segments, unseen footage, and so much more. Join us on our website television show at cruisingnewengland.com. We're back here in Ocala, Florida. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Rick Schmidt, Vice President of National Parts Depot.
Yes.
And I want to thank you for having me here again today.
Oh, we love having you down.
And I'd say you have, I don't know how many vehicles you have in your collection.
186 currently.
You have so many vehicles that we could do an episode on every stage of your vehicle collection. But today we're going to focus in on Pontiacs.
Pontiacs, which is a real favorite of both my father and I, so we've got plenty of Pontiacs in the collection to show you.
But you know, also, National Parts Depot also has you have a parts business with the Firebirds.
We sell restoration parts for the first and second generation Firebirds and Trans Ams, yes, and soon GTO Le Mans as well, coming in 2012.
So you're expanding on that.
We're expanding
Pontiac,
into the Pontiacs
and that's,
more,
very
yes.
interesting. Now, what are we going to see here today?
We're going to see all sorts of Pontiacs here today. I've got 3 generations worth of Firebirds to look at. We have some GTOs. We have a lot of good full-size Pontiacs from the 60s, Bonnevilles and Grand Prix, and even a 55 Star Chief. So we've got a good variety to look through.
You know, I can't wait to see that because, you know, Pontiac isn't being made today.
What really was the most exciting division of General Motors, in my opinion, yes.
Who are we going to have a look at first?
Well, we've got a lineup of 4 1979 Trans Ams here. Each one special in its own way. This first one that we're standing in front of, the red car, is a Pontiac 400 engine, which was the highest horsepower power plant in 1979. It's a 400 with a 4-speed transmission, WS6 suspension. This car only has 45 original miles on it.
Only 45 miles?
Yeah, only 45 miles, and we've got a considerable amount of our collection is cars like this, cars that have exceedingly low miles, well-preserved, original, unrestored cars. We love those types of cars because it's a window back in the past. You know, it's kind of like going back in time to see the cars as they were made, and also, being in the parts business, these cars work as excellent benchmarks for us to check reproduction parts to make sure they're the right finish and that they fit properly.
Okay, why don't you show us something else?
Well, this black car right here, it's got plenty of miles on it, but it's special to me because my father bought this car brand new in 1979. It's a 404-speed special edition. The special edition was the black and gold with the gold dash, and that was my dad's daily driver. In fact, it was my daily driver in high school.
All right, what else are we going to look at now?
We've got a silver 1979 404-speed anniversary edition Trans Am. This car has 115 original miles on it, and it's another benchmark car. A lot of the interior pieces for these anniversary cars have been reproduced, and this car was used a lot in checking and trying to improve the quality and the exactness of those reproductions. So,
what else are we going to have a look at?
This is a 1979 Fire Am. Not many people have heard of the Fire Am. It was the product of a company called Very Special Engineering that was begun by a man named Herb Adams. Herb Adams was a engineer with Pontiac, and he was actually the lead engineer on the very first Trans Am in 1969. He also ran most of Pontiac's racing programs through the 70s. In 76, 77, he retired from Pontiac and started his own company. And a lot of the parts that he developed for Pontiac's racing program, he made available to the public as a mail order catalog, which also served as an instructional as to how to build your own Fire Am in one of 3 stages. And this is a stage 3 Fire Am that I found for sale years ago at the Charlotte Auto Fair. Nobody knew what it was. I knew what it was, and it's got the whole VSE kitchen sink on it. And we went through a full restoration, but it's an Olds 403, but it's performance built. It has dry sump lubrication. It has all of the Herb Adams VSE chassis upgrades. It's really a race car for the street. So
I've never come across one of these.
There's very few. At the Trans Am Nationals, they show up here and there, you know, and maybe there's 8 or 10 known ones floating around the country right now.
Can we have a look at this?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me pop the hood here for you.
Now, how do real hardcore collectors feel about this automobile?
Real hardcore collectors, I think this automobile, even though you know they were owner built, there's enough history and enough Pontiac lineage with Herb Adams that these are definitely very sought after and very desirable.
A lot more of Cruisin' New England with Rick Schmidt in Ocala, Florida.
Waiting on back orders again? Your neighbor isn't. He ordered from NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford, Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't let back orders stall your project. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Graphic Express, mobile lettering, custom graphics for autos, fleets, trucks, and boats. Signs of all types including awnings, storefronts, banners, and more.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercity's drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website.
Don't miss the Amherst Outdoor Antique Auto Show and Flea Market, Amherst, New Hampshire, the last Sunday of the month, April through October. Over 500 spots. Gates open at 6 a.m. with free admission.
Cash for Gold, the place to sell your unwanted gold and diamonds. Where you sell your jewelry is as important as where you buy it. We at Cash for Gold are diamond and gold specialists. We will buy all size diamonds, gold chains, rings, bracelets, silver coins, and even broken jewelry. Often we pay 2 to 3 times higher than pawn shop prices. We also pay up to 90% of the daily price of both diamonds and gold. We are the original, authentic, family-run Cash for Gold and have been for more than 28 years. Visit us at 527 South Broadway, Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire.
When September comes, the party begins. Cruise on over to the Big E in West Springfield, Mass. September the 14th through the 30th.
Rick, if I could take one home, this would be the car.
Yeah, this car's in high demand. You're not the only one who's made a pitch for it. It's a 1955 Pontiac Star Chief convertible, red and black, super colors, you know, well equipped. It's a real superstar of a Pontiac.
I mean, look at the detail in this. Let's talk about that. Even the hood ornament.
Even the hood ornament, and there's a switch in the interior. This lights up and illuminates. It was an optional accessory that Pontiac had available, so it's a really trick car.
Now, is this the original color back
yes.
then?
Yes.
So it's original color, but has this been completely restored?
It's been completely restored.
Ground up restoration. I got to pull myself away from this one because I know you got some more cars you want to show us, but this is the one I'd want to take home.
Let's move over to the wide track era of Pontiacs, the 1960s.
So, Rick, this is one of your favorite drivers.
It's one of my favorite Pontiacs in the collection period to drive, to look at, the whole package, the 1967 GTO. I was driven home from the hospital when I was born in a 67 GTO, and I've loved these cars my entire life.
Well, let's have a look under the hood because I know this is in pristine condition.
I drive it a lot, so I wouldn't call it a show car, but it's a pretty darn nice one. It's a 400, and it's got the HO engine in it, the higher horsepower 400 that was available that year. And a lot of people think that, you know, always look for a tri-power under the hood of a GTO of this vintage, but in 67 they went from 389 to 400 and just the single 4-barrel carburetor. But in reality, these 400 HOs at 360 horsepower were better performers than the 389 tri-power. This is a faster car, and it drives beautifully, it rides nice and soft, and it's a real pleasurable car to drive.
Well, what else are we going to have a look at here today in the collection?
We've got lots more to go. 60s and 64 Pontiacs. They're right around the corner. We're working our way there.
All right, let's go have a look. And now we're going to have a look at a beautiful Grand Prix and a Bonneville.
Yeah, both 1964s, and this era of Pontiac really shows off how beautiful Pontiac's interiors were. These cars just have really, really flashy, heavy with chrome interiors in them. The engine is a 389 cubic inch 4-barrel carburation. You could get a tri-power in 1964, but this car was not originally equipped with it. It's got air conditioning, power steering, power brakes. It's a pretty much loaded up car. We've got power windows in it, so it's a really nice Grand Prix.
All right, now what are we going to have a look here at Bonneville?
This is a 64 Bonneville Brougham. The Brougham package, most people associate the name Brougham with Cadillac, but Pontiac did its own Brougham. We don't have a whole lot of 4-door cars in our collection, but these 64 Bonneville Broughams are very collectible, even as a 4-door.
Now, you said, you know, you don't have many 4-doors in your collection, and why is that?
4-doors are just not as generally collectible as 2-door hardtops or convertibles, and that's just always been a rule of thumb. There's certain exceptions to that rule, but generally speaking, if you've got a 4-door and a 2-door model, the 4-door is literally maybe half the value of the 2-door in the collector's realm.
Tell us about the interior of the
they called this fabric panty cloth because it's very much like pantyhose. It's a very thin nylon, and it's not the most durable stuff, which makes this car very special because this is all original interior and it's flawless. And it's got embroideries in the back with the Pontiac logo, and it's just a really fantastic interior to sit in.
Now, what else are we going to see in the collection?
We've got more Bonnevilles, waiting 1960 Bonnevilles down the road. So
let's go.
What we have here is a really rare piece because it's an absolutely 100% original, unrestored 1960 Bonneville coupe. It's also very unique in that it has bucket seats, which was not an available option for a hardtop and was special ordered through the factory with bucket seats. So.
All right, now what do we have over here? Another Bonneville. This is a beauty.
This is a 1960 convertible, 389 4-barrel, power windows, power steering and brakes. Just a really, and in the all white, I really think this car just has an awful lot of presence. It's got a real classy look to it.
It's a gorgeous automobile. So here you got the hard top, you got the convertible, you got, hey, what more do you need? When we come back, a lot more Cruisin' New England. Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. Jim, I'd like you to meet Andre Baldassar.
Andre, tell us a little bit about your car.
It's a 1966 Ford Mustang modified with a 289 in it.
It looks truly awesome. On behalf of Town Fair Tire, I'd like to present you with a trophy and a gift certificate.
Thank you.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Town Fair Tire.
We're back and we're going to have a look at some of Rick's memorabilia. So you have all these beautiful cases here.
Yeah, this is just kind of a potpourri of awards and remembrances from all the shows that we've done over the years. You know, blue ribbons at concours, different, there's a case full of stuff that's all just picked up from the Ford's 100th anniversary celebration that we were at. Just a lot of different awards. And then kind of in the middle here is mostly my father's. I've got some at the end die-cast collection. He was in the Franklin Mint Car of the Month Club for years.
And they're a great collectible too. People out there, you know, want to start a collection. They can't afford a real one. You know, why not get a Franklin Mint? Because they're available.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. And there's even some Pontiacs scattered around in here. So a little bit of everything.
Well, that's pretty nice. So this is an interesting first generation Firebird.
It is, but it's also an example of a restored car that I bought that I have a feeling by the time I'm done with it, I'll have completely re-restored the car over again. I bought it right, and the car has equipment and the colors and options are dynamite on this car. It's just a loaded out 69 Firebird 400 with power windows and fold down rear seat and air conditioning and on, and it's just got the whole kitchen sink full of options put on it. It's not a very good restoration. I kind of knew that when I bought it, but I wanted the car for the colors and the options. And actually, this isn't even the right shade of red. It's supposed to be carousel red, which is an oranger. It has more orange in it. It's going to look great on camera. I'm sure it's going to glisten and gleam.
Do we have any other vehicles, any other Pontiacs that we want to have a look at today?
We're still flowing.
We're flowing. Well, let's go. I want to keep flowing. This is a lot of fun. So Rick, we have a 20th anniversary edition here.
Yes, this is the third generation of the Firebird and Trans Am, and this is a 1989 model, an anniversary car, which is really kind of the holy grail of the third generation Firebirds. And the interesting thing about, and it's also by a wide margin the very fastest of the third generation Firebirds. But the funny thing is it's not a V8 under the hood. For the 20th anniversary cars, they only built 1,500 of them, and they were all powered by Buick Grand National engines, the Buick V6 Turbo, with special cylinder heads, and it also carried the GNX upgraded ceramic turbo on it. So these are really fast cars. They're very desirable, very collectible. And then this guy right here is still in the plastic, still in the wrapper, has less than 20 original miles on it, and window sticker's still in the window. It's a brand new one.
Brand new. That's just incredible. So Rick, what's next?
What's next is an interesting Pontiac concept vehicle, and it was a concept that was built for Pontiac by ASC, American Sunroof Company. This is a one-of-a-kind, one-off concept. All of the ground effects were special, were custom made for this car. And if you notice the windshield here, it's actually not glass, it's Lexan, and there's no header. It wraps all the way across the top. And then the big feature on this car, while they call it the Sun Tour, is the center panel on the roof is glass, and it goes from rail to rail. It's a full roof of glass.
Concept means it was pre-production. It was a tester car. It's put out there to test market it.
Yes, it's a special car that was built with special features and special styling. Even the wheels are hand built on this car as an exercise in styling and function to see if Pontiac's executives and GM's executives thought that it had marketability, you know, and that's how all cars come to be. They're conceptualized, mocked up, and then the bean counter's got to figure out, was this sucker going to sell enough to where we can pay to do it?
So Rick, this would have gone to the industry shows.
Yeah, you would have seen this, you know, at the Detroit Auto Show, Los Angeles, Miami.
You folks know that I didn't come all the way to Ocala, Florida without having to ride in some of these vehicles. So where are we going to start?
I picked out 3 special Pontiacs that I thought was a perfect cross-section of what pure Pontiac is all about. We've got a 1966 GTO right here, 389 tri-power 4-speed, the epitome of GTO-ness, and we'll take that out for a spin. I've got what I call the epitome of the wide track era of Pontiacs, a 1960 Bonneville, 2-door sport coupe, 389 4-barrel. It's one of the most beautifully restored cars in our collection. It's a car that we purchased and that we had restored for ourselves. And it's a no corners cut car that really drives beautifully. And then right here we've got a 1978 black and gold special edition Trans Am. And believe it or not, this was the very first Y84 black and gold special edition that Pontiac produced. And they gave it brand new to Burt Reynolds as a gift, as a thank you present for the success of Smokey and the Bandit.
Of all these Pontiacs we've seen today in your collection, which is the one you'd like to take off and ride into the sunset in?
That's simple. I have no doubt in my mind which one I would pick.
When we come back, we're going to find out which Pontiac he picked. I'm Paul Minette, and I'm proud to be named the spokesperson for the Food Allergy Education Network.
Food allergies are a growing and serious health concern. 1 in 12 children in the United States has food allergies. That's 2 children in every classroom. There is no cure for food allergies. The only way to keep our children safe is through education. Learn the facts about food allergies. Know the signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis.
You can save a life.
I got involved because of my granddaughter, and I hope you get involved too.
Would you like information about Cruisin New England Productions? Cruisin New England magazine has been the premier auto and events magazine for nearly 20 years. Cruisin New England Car Show series includes the Elite Dream Machines Rock and Roll Weekend at Mohegan Sun Casino, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin Classic. Or for personal appearances by Paul Minette or advertising on our television show, contact us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
Building Maintenance Services. We've been servicing the Northeast since 1990. We service and repair revolving doors, automatic and handicap doors. We can help you design an attractive, efficient entrance you can be proud of. Protect your investment and secure your property with yearly maintenance contracts and 24-hour service. Whether in office, medical, or commercial high-rise, we'll get the job done right for you. Building Maintenance Services.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford, Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
We're back, and my viewers can't wait to find out what vehicle you picked.
It's this Coronado Red 60 Bonneville.
Well, let's give it a whirl. So what makes this vehicle so special?
Well, for one, it's one of the absolutely best, finest restored cars in our collection. The restoration on this car is just absolutely mind-blowing. And the other reason it's special to me and my father is it's an exact replica of the 1960 Bonneville that my grandmother used to drive back in the early 60s. This is just the rarest car of the 3. People would think that a tri-power GTO is awfully rare, but not many of these Bonnevilles have survived. And certainly not many survive in the condition that this one is in. It's one of the best cars we have in that whole, in all 180 plus cars we've got. This is really towards the top.
So Rick, when you think of Burt Reynolds and you think of automobiles, you think of Smokey and the Bandits.
Yep.
So tell me how you acquired this vehicle.
My father bought this vehicle. He bought it at auction, I want to say out in Scottsdale years ago, before, way before the television crews and the circus that the Scottsdale auctions have become today. It was purported to be a car that actually was filmed in the movie Smokey and the Bandit, and it had a letter from Burt Reynolds stating that fact. So my dad bought it, and he paid pretty good money for it, although in retrospect that's fine because we've learned more about the car since then. The original story that it was being represented as wasn't the case at all, but it did have a definite tie to Burt Reynolds. This was the very first 1978 Y84 Special Edition built. It has a pink build sheet that is reserved for special cars on the Van Nuys assembly line, and PHS has documented it as absolutely the first Y84. And Pontiac gave this car as a gift to Burt Reynolds as a thank you present for the success of the Smokey and the Bandit movie. So it indeed was Burt Reynolds' personal car, and I've still got, in my paperwork, I've actually got his original Florida registration in his name for the car. Before we go for a ride, Paul, I need to tell you a little bit about this car. It's not just a tri-power 389. This is actually a California car. It was sold new in Hollywood, and you won't find too many GTOs at shows that still retain all of their original California emissions. So this has got its original air pump and all the filtration and tubes that was required, at that time in California for their emissions laws. And some of those pieces were really, really hard to come up with, and figuring out how to plumb it and get it operating was a bit of a trick.
So there's not many of these around, really?
Not many of these around. I think there's only 2 or 3 of them kicking around in the GTO circles that still have, California cars that still have their California emissions on them, tri-powers.
Does it take any power away having the emissions in there?
No. It's really just a pump blowing air into the exhaust.
We're going to find out, though, aren't we?
Oh, we're going to find out. Absolutely, it runs good.
Let's find out.
All right, let's go see if we can't burn some rubber.
I want to thank Rick Schmidt for a great day here in Ocala, Florida at National Parts Depot. I'm Paul Manette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England and sometimes beyond.